So, would you like to tell everyone who you are and what you do? What is your day job? What's your name? What's your day job?
Right, my name's Ross Hooton. I'm a web designer for a couple of companies. I do that sort of thing. I'm basically your IT master. I'm helping out with Sanjuro North website.
Awesome.
So you're probably viewing this on that, hopefully, or YouTube. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So you've never done anything like Sanjuro before, or no martial arts or anything like that?
Nothing like that, no, nothing.
So
no, in fact, zero physical exercise apart from that one time on Wii Fit, which didn't turn out very well.
So was that the one with the platform thing, did you?
There's an urban myth on Wii Fit, if you stand on it and you're of a certain weight, the Wii actually says ow. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you the whole story, but...
Okay. Right, but so you've just completed your second session of Sanjuro one-on-one.
Yes.
You have seen the Sanjuro the classes.
Yeah.
But you've never participated. But you've just done your second one-on-one session.
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Can you talk us through, first off, your experience before your first session?
Okay.
How were you feeling before you did your first session?
Before I'd seen like the main Sanjuro sessions, but I'm not really sure what to expect from a one-on-one. Like, luckily, some of it was the same sort of routines. Like there was a thing Chris does with the pads, and you have to punch it, and he gives you a number, and you have to do that so many times, which is really fun. So I'd seen that. I was looking forward to that. The other ones though, it was the stretching and that sort of thing. Wasn't really sure what to expect. Like, but yeah, it's pushing me, but in a good way. Yeah.
So prior to when Chris phoned you up and said, do you want to come down and do the one-on-one session now? I mean, we were talking the other day.
Yeah.
Can you tell the people how you feel? You know, when that effort that it took to come down, and how, because you've not been a physical sort of activity sort of person. So for you to come down, what does it take for you to decide? Yes, I'm going to come down and do it.
I had to be in the right frame of mind. It's like you rang me up, Chris rang me up like the day before, and it is Chris.
I did, yeah.
So that clarifies it. So yeah, you rang me up like the day before. Well, you sent me a text and you said like, "Do you want to do this?" And I was just like, "I do want to do it, but I'm just like not in the mood right now." So I don't know. It's just when you rang me up on the Sunday, I was like just about to do my weights, because I've just started doing weights as well, which is because I want to get myself in shape. And you rang me up and you said, "Do you want to come down?" I said, "Yeah, fine, let's do it." You know, and just did it straight away, sort of thing. So it's you got to be motivated, if you like.
So you were in the right frame of mind to do it.
Yeah.
So you wanted to turn up and do it. So would you say that's an important part for anyone who's possibly in your position? They've got to want to. Yeah,
it's not easy. It's not just like, just saying, "Do you want to come to the pub?" and you just instantly do it straight away. It's not dead hard, but it's not easy. If you know what I mean. It just take, you got to push yourself. If you to use a horrible cliche, but yeah, that's what it is. There's no other way of saying it.
So when you were actually doing your first session, how were you feeling? Were you like, "Oh my God, when is this going to end?" Or were you knackered but enjoying it, or were you knackered and like, "I just want this to be over"?
It's genuinely good fun. Some of the exercises, they're hard work, like, but you don't really want to stop. Well, it's like when it's hard to explain. Like you don't want to stop, but you find yourself pushing yourself until you can't go any further. There was a part in the first session where you got me to do these weights, like, and I was doing the exercise like that, and I was like, in my mind, I was like, keep on going, but I literally couldn't do it anymore. So that was the only thing that.
So what did we do after that? Can you remember what we did? When we got to that point, what did we do?
You recognised that I was destroyed. So he said, like, "Hang on, let's have a break for a second, just go and get yourself a glass of water."
Yeah.
And we did that, and after that I was just like, "Yeah, let's go for it."
So that's sticking with there's the rule in Sanjuro of rest if you have to, join back in when you can. So
it's kind of that whole thing, like, take it at your own pace, if you like. Yeah. It's like you'll be instructing it, like, because you've been doing it for years, you'll be like, 1, 2, 1, 2, that sort of thing. And then we were doing that exercise a few minutes ago where you were kicking like that, and I was just like, 1, 2, and you'd done like 20 in the space of 1. Yeah.
So throughout, it was enjoyable, and you wanted to keep going.
It was good. You didn't like other things like that. I suppose a lot of instructors, it's very easy to sort of insist that you do the exercises. Like, we're not going to go away from here until you've done 20 of these. But you've recognised, like, because there's that many sort of exercises you can do. If I can't do one of them, or anyone can't do one of them, you'll say, right, stop this now, and we'll just do another one instead, and we'll come back to this later if you want. And it's that easy.
Because I mean, there was a couple of times like it's sort of. Did you find there was a mixture of exercise which you definitely could do, and some that you couldn't?
I suppose it's like that. I mean, I really enjoyed doing the pads and the weights and stuff. Like, even though I'm going to need to practice at it, like I enjoy doing that. It's some of the other ones where it's the more stretching side of it. It's when you say stretching, you think, well, warming up. But some of the exercises are stretching. Like there's one where you're lying on your back, sort of, and you have to bring your legs up like that, and that's really hard.
Yeah,
it's really hard. Like especially someone like me, just haven't done any exercise at all. And
So after that session, how did you feel? After that session, how did you feel directly after, and then how did you feel the next day?
after the first session, I was drained, I suppose is the best word for it. Like, I just went home and just sat down for like half an hour and just like put something on TV. I wasn't watching it; I was just like looking at the screen. But after that, immediately after, I calmed down. I was like, fine, yeah, great. The next day, I was fine, and the day after that, I was aching all over. But that went away in about a day.
Yeah,
which is fine. But then, they're happy to do some more of it. Like so. You want to come back to it.
Yeah.
And this has come from me. Like if you know me, I do zero exercise. I'm the least physically active person I know.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Well, up until this point, yeah. So you turned up today. We've got, if we have a look, this is all our equipment that we've been using. So we've got the weights, we've got the pads, we've got the music going, we've got a kettlebell, we've got the bench over there, and then we've got this, which is our little dojo to train in. But so you come today. How was it getting motivated to turn up to this session this morning?
I kind of knew what to expect, so it was like, yeah, let's do it,
Yeah, so it took a little less to get into it.
It's like getting over the hump sort of thing. The first session was like, oh my god, I'm going to be absolutely ruined after it, and then I'm going to be knackered, and because I'm going to be shouted at to do this sort of thing and all that. But it wasn't anything like that,
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, I'm trying to think of something to compare it to. Like I haven't took part in, but I've seen it. Like where you got some guy standing over someone doing press up, and he's like, all the way down, sort of, like having a go at you. But it's not that. I guess the biggest thing is like, like I said, like if you can't do one thing, you'll either stop and you'll just go and take a break for a minute, or we'll just move on to something else. It's a bit easy to do. Like, but this afternoon, like you asked me, there was a bit where I was sort of phasing out, if you like it, and getting a bit drained halfway through, and you said like, what do you want to do now? Do you want to carry on doing this, or do you want to do some weights, which is a bit easier, so let's move on to the weights. And then we came back to doing like pads and stuff afterwards. So
So we shook it up a bit. So notice you've got a big bottle of water there.
Yeah.
So that, do you think it's worth bringing one to every session? If there wasn't one, because obviously if you're at mine, I'll provide you with one. But
if you're going to do it in one of the sessions at the gym or the Mulberry or whatever, and you're not really doing exercise, just bring your own water or Lucozade or whatever. Whatever what's best is water best.
I'd say whilst you're training, because certainly, I mean, would you find, how much do you sweat during this session?
This one didn't sweat as much because we were doing more weights, but I'm still sweating quite a bit. But the first session, my shirt was drenched, honestly.
Yeah.
And I suppose that's just, you get dehydrated because of that, don't you?
Yeah.
So you'll need something. I suppose that's why you see all these sport people like carrying drinks around them all the time. Yeah. Because they need it. Simple as that.
Well, so how was this session? I mean, so you've just done your second session. How do you feel now?
I feel fine. I feel much better than I did after the first one, to be honest with you. I suppose I'm a bit more used to it now. And it's only after 2 sessions, that is.
Yeah.
So I feel good. Yeah.
And we did slightly different exercises to what we did last time.
Yeah.
Are you happy to have a varying sort of workout, as in, so one week you'll do one thing, another week it could be completely different?
Yeah.
Or is there a specific thing that, is it kind of a case? I know you said you like the pads. Is like, as long as I do the pads, I'm happy to do everything else.
Yeah, exactly. So. The pads are kind of a reward, I suppose. Like.
Yeah. Is that how you see it? So.
Yeah, I like doing the pads. Like, what did we do before? Like the first session. What will happen is you'll shout out numbers, so you'll say like 1, 4, 6 or whatever, and you'll do 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, carry on. And the first time I did it, like I struggled to do 50, and after it was 49, 50, and just about 10 minutes ago, like you said, you just went like go. How many did we do? Because you were counting.
Must have done over 100.
I'm pretty sure it must have gone up to about 200.
Yeah.
It must have done like that, and it was like, that's fine.
Yeah.
Then Chris made me wear the pads, and And that was terrifying.
But your hands are okay, right? I see your
hands,
hands.
yeah,
Your hands are all right.
Yeah, they're fine.
Okay.
Hello.
Good. So what would you be your final? I mean, you up for next week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Me and you were saying the other day, like, yeah. Well, it's what I said a minute ago. Like, once you've got over the first, getting over the initial trepidation of doing the first session, I'm not too sure about this, and then you actually do it and you see how much fun it is.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, yeah, so I'm coming to the next one. I mean, like, everyone who's come to the sessions so far is basically, you've had like people coming back for almost all of them so far.
Yeah.
And if they can't come, there's like a legitimate reason, like I've got to pick the kids up or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's popular. It's good fun.
Yeah.
Recommended.
I mean, I know it's very early days, but could you see? I know you're doing one. At the minute, you're doing one session a week.
Yeah.
Could you see it becoming more, maybe with the group sessions as you go, or would you take it by hit as it goes?
I'd be keen to see what the group sessions are. I think the physical, like the demands on a one-to-one session, because it's all focused on me, really.
Yeah.
I suppose, like, you're doing it all at the same time, so you're doing. It's not like you're shouting saying like, do 30 sit-ups or whatever. You're doing it with me.
Yeah.
So that helps. That does.
So I mean, like stuff like the sit-up sort of thing, is I don't know if you noticed that I carried on going, even when you were struggling.
Yeah, you didn't wait for me. Yeah.
Didn't wait, but do you not see that as a goal that when you can keep up, you're...
Well, the ones that when I can keep up, I do try and keep up. I want to keep, like, I suppose if you're a competitive person as well, you want to try and like absolutely beat it, like that you're like role reversal sort of thing. When you're on your second one, like I'm on my 30th one. So
yeah.
You'd have to have some speed to do that too. But yeah. The group sessions, I'd definitely come to one. Yeah, I've definitely seen what they're like now. I mean, I've been to a group session, but I was only filming, like, for the website. But yeah, it'd be quite interesting to see what happens in a group as opposed to just by myself.
Yeah. But so far, so good. One-on-ones. Yeah. You enjoying it? Yeah. You feel good?
Yeah.
You feel good?
Yeah.
Good. Right. Any last shout outs to anyone or anyone you want to say hello to on the web really. When it gets up there?
Make sure you follow at Sanjuro North on Twitter. It's just at Sanjuro North. There's a link on the website. Go on sanjuronorth.com, recommend it to your friends. There's share buttons on there now. Thanks, Ross. And check out the calendar, it's new. Yeah. Yes, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris.
See, handshake from someone who's not dead.
Can I have me 20 quid now?
No. Can I have me 10 quid? Cheers. Cheers. Bye.